Previously on the Goblin Market, the crew took bold action to prevent catastrophe, overthrowing King Torag and placing Satem, a reluctant revolutionary, on the throne. By doing so, they averted the mountain's eruption, sparing the land and lives for miles around from deadly noxious gases. Yet their victory came with an unexpected cost. As Satem donned the king's amulet and Dumathoan's crown, an unsettling transformation began. A voice, or perhaps a presence, took root in his mind, compelling him to his first act as king: murder. Now the crew faces an even greater challenge, uniting two deeply fractured communities, the Faithful of Mystra above and the slavers beneath the mountain. Can they control this new king? Can they mend centuries of mistrust? Or are they standing on the edge of a new, more dangerous conflict? Find out today on the Goblin Market.
To the river they tread, only to be swept on.
Morning and evening you may hear the cry, candies and berries and baubles to try, sweet to the tongue and sound to the eye, but heed words of caution when you then decide to come by, come by, come by, come by, come by.
Just beware the Goblin Market.
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. You are listening to the Dungeon Dads, the Goblin Market. As always, I'm your DM, Tom Blaylock. It's been a while.
Yeah, baby. Hey.
And
we're back, baby.
We're back, baby. And I am joined today, as ever, by my three comrades in arms, Sam Frank, John Watson, and Tim Carr. What's up, fellas?
Glad to be back in the market.
Glad to be back. Yeah, this is a delightful distraction.
No, babe, I said in the market, not on the market.
Yeah, I don't want to put the timestamp on this too significantly, but Tim is currently threatened. I'm facing massive jet lag. John Watson has snow in Charlotte, and I don't know what's going on. Sam is freezing his nether regions off with freezing weather in Texas. So this is like
cats and dogs living together.
That's hysteria.
Well, so guys, last time it was pretty gruesome. You know, when Satem put on the burning amulet, you figured out how to do the crown, put the crown on him, and then he suddenly became a magic user that could blast 10 magic missiles at once. If you do the math, that's a 7th level spell, or an 8th level spell.
Say,
right?
Tim.
No, 7th level.
Why'd you do that?
Yeah, so he blew up his comrade in the overthrow, Thalor, and the guard who came in and helped out with the murder of the king. And now he says there's still 2 people left to cross off the list. He says the guard outside, who he claimed was poisoning him for some period of time, and the knave Galprank, who you met, who is now living at your camp. The stone door is closed. You have slaves outside and women and children who are ready to be sort of led out of the mountain that ostensibly is about to blow, at least as far as they know. And you are sitting on a recent coup. So what do you want to do?
Jeez.
Coup. And we said we don't. Cuckoo, cuckoo, paloma. We said we don't know Galprank, right?
You told him you don't know Galprank. But he was given as a possible he was given as a possible option as an heir.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And this king seems to know that is the last heir. You know, I mean, Satem knew. Knew. And Thalor basically said, I'd prefer Satem to Galprank. Let's make Satem the king.
Mm-hmm.
And And so now there's...
Pretty sure we said that too.
Yeah, you said that too. You said for sure you did. Yeah, Satem is standing in front of you. He's just blasted these two petrifying people and broken them into, millions of little pebbles.
Yeah, Eabis in Davman's body is still heaving in the corner, and
yeah, you just listen to the consciousness
yeah,
wiped out.
Yeah,
Charnak, still in Gregor's body, still goes down on one knee. Truly your king, Satem. I know we must eliminate all conspirators, but there may be other actions which require a more urgent hand.
I can't. I don't think you understand, Master Human. This is it is not compelling me or pushing me, but I feel as though my mind might explode if I do not get this done.
Have you ever heard the phrase, revenge is a dish best served cool?
I have not heard. This is interesting. Why would one eat that, and what does it consist of?
It is a sort of a metaphor in that. Charnak begins to pedantically explain the metaphor.
and the king looks at you and says, I and then he raises up his fist and disappears.
Ah, shit.
And you are in this room, in the temple.
Do we still have the body of the old king?
The body of the king is in there, yes.
Okay. Are there any convenient places to dispose of bodies in here? Molten pools?
So there's no molten...
Big stone trunks?
There's no molten pool. Big stone trunks. I mean, look, this is a temple. There are places that you could, for when the door opens, people might not necessarily see the king immediately. You could put him under, behind the chair that he was sitting in, which is like really a sacrificial table. The problem is it's also a mess of stones all over the place. It's like, it looks like there's been this like explosion of red iron stones is basically what it looks like. Just tiny little round pebbles everywhere. And the body of a king.
Okay, fellas, help me move this body.
Where do you want to put it?
I don't know, behind the throne, just so they won't see it when the door opens. We will answer these questions, but hopefully not first.
Is it like tapestry or curtains or a rug?
An arras behind which we might secrete ourselves?
No, there's not. There's not. I mean, to give you a lay of the land here, it's one big room. There are there's a semicircle of like small stone benches that are big enough for two dwarves to sit side by side on, enough for probably like 30 or 40 people to sit in here on those stones. So like just not that much. And then there's the chair, which is actually, I keep calling it a chair. It is a like a 6 foot by 8 foot sort of table that has a very high back coming off of it. It's pure stone. So it's like, looks like it's been cut from one piece of stone. So behind that, it's not obvious that there's a dead person behind it if you want to move him back there. The problem is there's no like permanent place to put this king here, unless you have something like stone shape or something like that, which I don't think any of you do.
And what was the name of the lieutenant guy who got killed?
Thalor.
All right.
Yeah.
He's a respected dwarf, yes.
All you know is that he was the king's number 2. He was sort of his major domo. He was a warrior, very well fed, and he was dressed in a robe that was definitely not his, that was very, very fine. And that robe is still on him.
He's not blasted into 1,000 pieces?
Sorry, yes, he's blasted. The robe is not. The robe
Ooh.
has somehow survived the blasting. The robe was not turned to stone, only his body.
Okay. Busk is going to grab that robe, dust it off, and chop the king's head off.
Okay.
And then
Okay.
wrap the body in
He's
the
already
robe.
small. We don't need smaller pieces. We just need to get him hidden. Come on.
Maybe we could say that this is Thalor instead of the king. I don't know. Just get rid of the evidence.
Listen, we tried this before at Bernie's house. Remember that one weekend?
So I wrap the body up.
It didn't work. It was funny. Very funny. But it did not work.
So I wrap the body up in the robe and put it behind the throne.
Okay.
I cast Disguise Self.
Ooh.
And make myself appear as Thalor.
No.
Okay.
Shit! I put the head back on the king.
This is just to grease the wheels, shall we say.
And so you are putting the king's body though behind behind
that big chair.
Yeah. I figured disguising self as the king or say Tim was a little too high stakes.
A little too high stakes. I think that's true. So what I'd like for you to do is so John, Dinfa is the one who's hiding him.
Yeah.
So I'll give you advantage. Both your friends are here. You can be like, hey, do you see this? Do you see that? It's going to be a wisdom-based stealth check. So you'll use your wisdom instead of your dex for this stealth check. Do you have proficiency in stealth?
I do.
Okay, so you'll get your proficiency bonus and your wisdom score.
Wisdom bonus and proficiency bonus.
Yep.
And here we go. All right, that will be a 16.
Okay. So for the two of you, actually, you have advantage.
Oh, let's try it again.
Because your buddies are there giving. I'm assuming someone's giving you the help action by watching. No. It's like
supervising.
Yeah,
he's still sticking out. His toes sticking out.
Yeah.
16.
Yeah. So from the angle of the door, cannot see anything. You'd have to move around to about. If the door is at 12 o'clock and the chair is in the dead center of the clock, you'd have to be around 4 o'clock and 10 o'clock in order to see in the behind there and notice that there's something there.
There's another. So there was Thalor. There was the king, and there was another guard, right?
There's guard, and the guard that was pummeled in the face outside is the one that say Tim said he had to kill.
Do we know the name of the other guard?
I don't think.
I don't think you told us.
I don't think I told you the name of the other guard.
I think he was just number 1 or number 2.
Yeah.
But Thalor would know the name of the guard. So me as Thalor needs to know it.
Yes. He would for sure.
Does he have a name tag or something on his armor?
Well, the guard is outside the door.
No, the other guard.
There were two guards.
The two guards inside. Yeah, no. But he's been turned to stone. And all of his things were turned to stone as well.
Okay. All right. Fellas, open the doors. It's showtime.
Okay. If you're sure you're ready for this.
Yeah, let's just hope that guard outside is still alive.
Well, considering the magic that the king had, we didn't hear anything, but let's see.
Mm-hmm.
So
open the door.
You've had a hard time with these stone doors, but you have seen 3 dwarves open these things before.
Like in one push together?
No. They've never pushed it. They've always run their hand in a certain pattern in a certain spot. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give each one of you.
Oh, I see what you're saying. We've seen this happen 3 times.
I'm going to give each one of you a DC 15 history check.
Okay.
In order to remember what they've done.
Cameron,
Because
my
none
8-year-old.
none of you mentioned specifically that you were watching how they'd open the door or anything like that, so they're not going to get advantage on this.
Sure.
Okay.
But Cameron, my 8-year-old, had an assembly at school, and he got a shiny black D20, which he gave me specifically for use. So I'm going to roll it.
Oh my god, it's
Nice.
amazing.
Let's see how it does.
You got a dirty 20.
I got a 5.
Jesus.
I got an 18.
It was a 3.
Okay.
So
With an 18 and a 20, you guys can compare notes.
Mhm.
And you know the signal. Who's doing it?
Me.
Okay.
Do you need me to roll anything?
I need you to roll performance, probably.
Can
It's a
that be?
performance check.
Can that be?
How
Since we're
about
comparing notes,
how
can
about
that be with
sleight of
advantage?
hand?
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, sleight of hand. Sleight of hand.
Sleight of hand with advantage.
With
With
advantage, help
advantage.
action.
Sure. Yes.
18.
Okay. So you remember that it was kind of right near the place where the hinge would be. It's not the side of the door that opens, so it's on the other
Mhm.
side. And you move your hand in this sort of weird kind of way, and you do it a bit with a flourish, and you hear just it's almost imperceptible. You hear, "Dwarf may exit," and the door starts to crack and
I turn
begin to-
around and give the guys 2 thumbs up.
slowly open, and there as it begins to open, you begin to hear, because it was airtight, it was soundproof.
Wow.
You now see that there is a bit of there's some carnage right outside the door here.
Awesome.
And there had been a huge number of people sort of super hungry, starving slaves, men, women, and children who were out in the hallways sort of gathering before. Like the last few people you see in this room have run up the stairs, and as you come out, you see to your right, there is it looks like someone has planted an explosive something inside of that dwarf who was the guard, and small pieces of him you can see have spread like 30, 40, 50 feet away. And the door, as it's opening, you're able to sort of look out and around it as it sort of swings open, because it swings in toward you, and you see it's like it's actually a person shaped red mark on the door as it opens up, and people are running up, down.
looks like we better get on the move.
And then I yell out to the crowd, good dwarven people, it is I, Thalor. Please do not panic. Come with us. We march to the surface.
Yeah, and some people are
We
kind
will
of running.
keep you safe. We will keep you safe. Come with us. There is safety in numbers.
A woman is running right past you, and she says, "Yes, we are going. The new king has proclaimed the land above safe. He said he will meet us by the lake."
Yes, that is good. March with us.
All right, so they're
So what I would like to start heading toward the surface and sort of gathering people as we go.
yeah, you can do it.
Right.
The people who obviously saw the explosion of body
Mhm.
has, like, they ran off in fear, but anybody who didn't
Mhm.
see that, the word is spreading that the king wants them to go
Mhm.
up to the surface. And
Yes,
there's people are
the
saying things
king.
about a new king.
the new dwarven king, Satim, and the human king are wreaking their bloody vengeance. Come, we shall establish a new accord with the surface. From a
Okay.
position of strength.
Okay. So, in your, let's see here, who's it going to be? I think it's going to be Dinfa.
Okay.
Dinfa, you take 3 psychic damage.
No saving throw or anything.
No saving throw.
3 psychic damage.
And I need you, you may fail this if you would like. This feels like something happening to your body.
Fuck. Okay.
You fail
So
it, you're back in your body.
I am back in my body.
If you fail a concentration check,
But you could fail it on purpose if you want to go back.
Right,
Yeah.
but I want to say something first. I want to say I think he knows where Goldbreak is, and then I'm gonna switch out.
okay. All right. So
Busk, stay with us. Just keep walking in a straight line. You're good.
Busk, stay with us. Just you recognize me, yeah? Let's go. Just follow us.
Okay.
All right,
Yeah.
from here on out, Eabis, I'm just gonna be the face of this thing. You bring all the people together. You talk good.
Yeah, but you're the dwarf. But I'll do my best.
I know, but let me be the silent face, welcoming all, and I put my arms up in a welcoming gesture.
So yeah, as we pass people, I will beckon them to march with us.
yeah, and people are joining lines. Somehow the word was spread. And as you get into the main chamber, the place where you had the fight with Ebrox and Karn, is the sort of the welcome center, I think we were calling it before.
Mhm.
The big open area that now has all these dwarven statues pulled to the ground. When you arrive there, you hear the voice of Seitem sort of reverberating in the room, him saying, "Today we either take the land above us back, or we make common cause with our exiled brothers and sisters. Come to the surface with me. Come with me. Meet me at the lake." And it's reverberating as though it's magic.
Yeah.
Do you hear the people sing, Eabis? Singing the songs of angry men.
I don't know the song to start them if they're not.
What happened to me?
All right. So these guys are taking him up the ladder. So you wake up in your body, and you've got something like in your mouth, in your face, on your hair, and an idea runs up to you and says, "Oh, I could not keep us all safe. I could not keep us all safe, Dinfa. Are you all right?"
You said there's something in my mouth.
Yeah, you can take it out. You can start to take it out.
What happened?
It
What happened?
tastes like blood. And you realize you are covered in blood.
What? And did Dinfa also took the 3 damage?
Yeah. Both
Dinfa and
3
Busk
damage.
together?
Yeah.
Okay. What happened? What happened? Why am I covered in blood?
It was a dwarf with a receding hairline and a large beard. He appeared, and I've not seen the magic of the lake. He waved his fingers. I even tried to counter his spell, but I could not. And, well, this is what is left of the dwarf that you invited to our party.
Oh no. Who else is hurt?
And he looks around and he says, all from the shrapnel of the explosion. He was not intent on hurting anybody but him, and he points over at some of the reams, and one of them is totally fucked up. He's got a hole that goes through his shoulder, and the exit wound is just giant.
Good grief.
And he looks up and says, I think it was a tooth. I think a tooth blew through me. It was awful. And he holds up a tooth that sure enough is a dwarven tooth. And he says, it was here. I cannot feel my arm. I cannot feel my legs. And Idir says, I believe I will have to put him out of his misery. He is paralyzed.
I just do a quick nod and I run towards Splendor. I'll try to look for Splendor and Eabis and Charnak.
Yeah. So Eabis is actually kind of gasping for air. He's got blood in his mouth. She has blood in her mouth, and Splendor is over Charnak's body and has wiped it clean entirely, and
that's my boy.
Yeah, So Charnak looks like he's actually suffocating.
Charnak or Eabis?
Eabis.
Sorry, Eabis. Eabis looks like she is suffocating.
So I go to Eabis and I begin cleaning her. I clean the blood out of her mouth. I just begin cleaning her, get her safe, and then try to, wipe her face off, clean her body, make sure she's okay.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I mean,
I don't want to wake her because I know she's in the middle of stuff. But so I'm just doing it slowly.
She seems to be breathing a little bit better now. And Idir says, "I'm sorry. I didn't even notice. I just sent some like a message to you. I just tried to ping you, and I am sorry. I could not protect them.
There was nothing you could have done. This dwarf was far beyond. We did not expect it. I am sorry that this attack happened. And
there's only so many reams left in the world. I cannot. It takes too long to train them well. Busk, he is not good for you. I intended for that one. That one, Carlos, was supposed to be yours. He was a fine fighter.
It is all right. Busk and I are doing just fine.
Zagat is going to kill me.
Do not worry about Zagat. We will take care of Zagat. You have done your duty. Thank you. Thank you for keeping us safe. We are all still here.
Yes. Well, they won't all still be here when you return. And Carlos hears that and says, "What? Why? Why? What do you mean?"
And so I finished cleaning up Eabis, and then I cleaned myself up. And
Dinfa didn't give a fuck.
No, he doesn't give a fuck about. He doesn't give a fuck about this. This is.
He's like, someone can't toss him a cure wounds. Come on, man.
This is the guy that does the cure wounds, and he is confident that this guy can't walk, and we need to get out of here, and we can't have anybody holding us back. So I'm going to clean up Eabis. I'm going to talk to Splendor, make sure that Charnak is in good shape, and then I'm just going to say, after you're done, we take everyone else, and I clean myself up, and I try to get back into Busk.
Okay.
I lay down beside Eabis.
All right, and you're back in.
All right.
So as you,
I'm only mostly dead.
You guys see Busk as you exit the main entrance. So the doors are now swung open, and you can see that these you've not been in or out of the main entrance. This thing, it's been locked down the whole time you've been in town. You realize that these doors that go down to the mountain, as they swing out, so that the inside, what faces inside the mountain when it's closed, it's this beautiful, elaborate gold sculpture of spiders playing with each other, like playing on this sort of. It looks like they're playing in a cave. It doesn't. It looks beautiful. It does not. Even though spiders are sometimes seen as a little bit of a nefarious creature, it's clearly intended to be welcoming and not sort of scary. And you do have that sense of it as you walk
sort
past
of a
these things.
Step into my parlor kind of vibe.
Kind of very much, very much. And you realize these gates are 60 feet high. Yeah, these are giant, and the effect of merchants and travelers going down these steps, it would put them in awe of the dwarves, and that's not a sense that you have had from this experience until this moment. And there's a huge group of people who are arrayed sort of just outside this gate. And of course, everyone is squinting. It's the middle of the day up top, and they haven't been outside in 2 years. The king it stands sort of in front of them. As you get closer, you realize that he is speaking to you straight into your brains. And it gives you the sense that maybe what was happening in the entrance parlor was not actually a reverberating thaumaturgic sort of speech, but maybe it was just banging around inside your skull in some kind of telepathic way. And the king is sort of continues into this speech and says, they must be convinced that we are here at their mercy to speak with them. Put down your arms, everyone. Everyone who has brought swords. This will be a day of peace and not a day of conflict. And people start to put down weapons.
No one is looking at me.
No one's looking at you.
Everyone's looking at the king.
That is a good assumption, yes.
All right, I'm just going to go ahead and let my disguised self then go before the king sees me.
Okay. So you're standing there, like you have probably like 150 people who are closer to the king than you are, but it's not like packed, but people are still coming out of the mountain, but
we can see really top. Well because we're like head and shoulders above all these people.
Head and shoulders above everybody. Yeah. Well, you don't see any of Mistress Faithful out here right now, right? Mm-hmm. They're not out with the king. And this small dwarven boy sort of walks up to, who is in their normal. Yeah, I think it's going to be you, Eabis.
Yeah. Me and Dinfa are the only ones.
He certainly appears to be the most. She is the most approachable of us.
Yeah,
right.
Davman.
So this small boy walks right up to you, Eabis, and puts his hands on your shoulders because you're tiny too.
Yep.
And looks you right in the eye and says, "I don't have very long. This is Zagat. What the fuck are you doing?"
What do you mean?
What the fuck are you doing? I have heard that you have attacked Ebrox. He is... stay away from Ebrox.
Ebrox attacked us.
It doesn't matter, merchant.
Why the fuck would he be attacking us?
We do not have time for this. Make your way back to the market as soon as you can. Tell Idir you must return. Tell him you must return. Your safe? Work here is done.
Already?
And then the kid steps back and looks at you and says, "Oh, what are you? Or do you have any food?"
Sorry, my boy. There'll be some up here soon.
I'm so hungry.
Soon. The king will make it right.
Well,
find your parents.
Talking. He's still talking in my head. We're all hungry.
Yes, soon.
And the king finishes and says, "We will make common cause with you, Faithful of Mystra. But you must come out and parley with me. From a few of the buildings, you see clean-shaven dwarves in their robes, their monk outfits, and you recognize that a few of them are wearing armor that you saw on the screamer skeletons that you fought above the lake.
Yeah.
And they walk out, and someone says, "Where is the real king? I am the real king now. All those who stood against me are now dead. All in line who were not excommunicated or exiled, dead. I am the last of the line of Torag's great kings. The mountain will not die. It will not spew its poison today. But we need you to come back." And one of Mistress Faithful, walks forward and puts his hand on the king's head, and he allows it. And you can see that the crown begins to glow. You all have this sharp ringing sensation in your ears as this is happening. And the person with his hand on the king's head turns into Eabis. And Eabis says, "Very well, king. We accept your parley. Let us discuss terms."
I'm going to step over to Charnak at that point and pull him down to my level and whisper in his ear. Zagat just approached me in the body of a kid. Says we have to go back to the market. Says we shouldn't be fucking with Eabis. I don't know. We have to go find Idir. We have to get ourselves out of this situation.
I don't know. We've worked very hard to get into this situation.
I understand, but
we may not be in a situation like this again.
I'm just telling you what Zagat said. She said our time here's done.
You've also never seen something like that happen. But it was definitely Zagat's voice.
Not going to lie. I might ask Idir if he's ever seen anything like that before we tell him with a message, but...
Put my hand on the two of them. I say...
Is Dinfa able to get back into...
I'm back in.
He's back in.
I'm back in. I say, it's pretty bad back at camp. We should get out of here. The sooner we can go, we should go.
I don't know that we will get a chance for a sit down with Eabis again.
Well,
we might want to take this opportunity to learn what we can.
If this peace is being brokered, we might know where Eabis is going to be, but I'm also not opposed to taking a minute on our way out, supposing it's peaceful.
Well, listen, if Zagat is telling us to stay away from him,
I think
we should stay away. We can find him in the market later.
Zagat told us not to attack him. That's what the words were.
Charnak thinks for a second. He's like, "You guys, you don't understand. Like we got a position here." And then he stands up tall, puts on his most regal posture, and says, "As Gregor went, emissary of the human lands, I would be party to this parley."
And Eabis looks up at you, confused, and he says, "We can watch the parley, human, but it will be the dwarves deciding what comes next in their land."
"I would have it no other way. Shall we adjourn together?"
"Yes, come. We should do this in the old guild house here, above the land." And the king says, "I agree." And you see that some of Mistress Faithful are out here now, and one of them does the sort of salute to the sun that you've seen multiple times and opens his mouth and says, "I will speak on behalf of Mistress Faithful." And they walk in the house, and Eabis looks back at the three of you and says, "Well, come."
"Yes, my honor guard, flank me."
All right, then.
Dinfa just starts shaking his head and walks beside Charnak.
That's what I get for letting the gnome do the talking.
All right, so you're in the sort of ruins of the stone guild, and the bodies have been moved out that you saw. This is where the first fight with Karn and Ebrox the first fight with Karn happened, and the king goes and sits down on a piece of rubble, and the Mistress Faithful sits down on another stone, and that's the only two stones that are being set upon. And Ebrox comes over to the three of you as the pleasantries begin of the two dwarves, which, as you know, can take quite a long time as they recount why they are the right ones to be in conversation. The line of Torags go back 3,000 years in the mountain, and Mistress Faithful says, "Yes, indeed, and the magic that courses through my veins is," and so they're doing their thing, and Ebrox says to you, "I know what you are,"
and I say, "Goblin, please." And it's sort of halfway between like Goblin, please.
Yeah.
And like a Goblin, please.
Are they coming after me? Speak true.
I will speak true. We had no idea that anyone from the Goblin Market was operating on this plane other than us.
What house are you in? Mechanic? Jaru? These names are completely foreign to you.
Yeah.
Even Dinfa.
Before, let us not exchange pleasantries as though we are dwarves. We have reinstated your deal and saved your contract for this land. You're welcome.
I need to know if the king is after me. Because if he is, I will disappear. I will not fight another king.
Now I will ask you a very important question. Which king?
King of the Goblin Market, of course. The Goblin King. Fitzroll.
Yes. It seems as though we are spoiled for kings these days.
What name did he say? Fitzroll?
Yeah, Fitzroll, the only true king the Goblin Market will ever have and has ever had.
We are simply here to fulfill a contract. The contract involves the enrichment of the Went lands and name in order to better secure their... Do we have a better name than Ladybone?
Pinkfinger?
Pinkfinger.
Hey, Tom, who's our king?
Your king is not Fitzroll.
Yeah.
Bodum.
That's right.
Do I know how many kings ago was Fitzroll?
Yeah.
You've never heard of Fitzroll. You've never heard of House Mechanic, House Jaru, or House Azure. These are all completely foreign concepts to you.
Time was a different beast.
Yeah.
Ebrox, we are not here to interfere in your mission, to cause you difficulty, or to draft you into anything nefarious. Far to the contrary, we are surprised to see you as you are to see us. I merely hope that through an exchange of knowledge and potentially of influence here, we can assist each other.
You have to understand, you have to understand, I have very little contact directly with goblins anymore. I've been on a mission a very long time.
I understand, and many things have changed. Are you aware of the Great Leveling?
I don't know what that is. Something was destroyed.
The alignment of the planes, the tuning of the spheres.
All the planes are on the same speed now.
Even the astral plane where the Goblin Market resides.
Even so, yes.
Oh shit.
Filing that. Some second foundation shit going on here.
Were we?
Ebrox,
Is the Great War over?
Do we recognize the Great War?
Over so long that we are not even aware of which war you speak of.
The Githzerai. Did we prevail?
Fuck them, but yeah.
As you can see, we are still here. Still operating.
I suppose.
Ebrox, it seems as though you have much to oversee here, but I can see a benefit to both of us in being able to speak in the future, perhaps without our handlers knowing of it. Do you have a way we could contact or communicate with you discreetly?
Yes, just use the children.
Children.
Yes, it doesn't kill them.
What if one did not want to use children?
It does not hurt them. You know that. I saw you just a moment ago receive a message. That is how I knew for certain you were, in fact, goblins. Listen, if you truly are a part of the One True Market, who founded the Azure Foundry?
Do we know this information?
Well, we know
Azure is a synonym for something else that we know is a foundry.
I'm going to look at Ebrox and doesn't matter who we are, where our loyalties lie. We are both stranded here on this plane with our missions to pursue and our contracts to fulfill. There is no reason we cannot assist each other. I will not answer your tests and quizzes, but I will aid you if you will aid us in return. We make no contract, we speak no promises, merely an openness to further dealings, as befits a general meeting such as this.
Speak your mind.
We have a contract to complete here, as do you. Our chances of success are much better if we aid each other rather than complicate each other.
Assuming our contracts can be fulfilled, and they are not mutually exclusive, you tell me what your contract is, and I will tell you if it conflicts with mine.
We have been instructed to secure the pink finger in the valley that is under the lands of the Wints. I assume from what we have encountered here that you are to secure the pink finger in the possession of the dwarves.
Yes, it has always been ours.
We make no designs on that. You may continue as you were. But we ask that you not stop the flow of the water into the valley. It puts us at a distinct disadvantage.
Done. I think that we will be moving back into the mountains soon, and that Mistress Faithful will be able to continue their work of modernization. That should be good enough.
That seems to work in favor.
I plan to create a tunnel to the market from here. As
I say very good, as though I know what that means. You may have more mouths to feed here than you can in such a short time.
Yes, it will be a problem.
With the renewal of the valley, we have lands and resources, but no hands to work it. If you will allow any to leave who wish, we will give them a place to expend their labor to the benefit of both.
I would love to set free the slaves.
As would I. Done and done.
Did you take part in the killing of Torag?
We may have facilitated certain events, but his killing was beyond our power or control.
Did you know that another goblin works in this realm?
I did not.
As you said, we thought we were the only ones.
Well, we are not. She is from House Mechanic. And she aims to destroy the Pink Finger and keep it out of the hands of the kings.
What is this nefarious goblin's name, if you have discovered it?
Oh, it is Sheba. She is the knave of House Mechanic. The Mechanic Foundry, I think, is rogue, but King Fitzgerald is a trusting sort.
And ours is not to reason why. Ours is but to do and die.
Very well said. If you come across the villain Sheba, send the child to me, and I will come and finish her off.
Very good. Although I believe this goes without saying, I see no need to mention this conversation to anyone else.
I agree.
Eabis, we have met under strained circumstances, but I hope that our future will be brighter than our past has been. And I extend my large human hand.
Well, it's not as though you successfully killed anyone I gave a shit about. And he holds his hand out and he says, I expect you to hold up all of these agreements. Having a place for the slaves. Telling no one about this conversation. And sending me a child as soon as you see the villain, Sheba.
Shall we write it into a contract? Or will a handshake suffice?
What are you talking about? And he sticks his hand out, and are you going to stick your hand out?
Yeah, I shake.
He goes beyond your hand, and he grabs you by the forearm, and he begins doing something on your forearm, like tapping with his fingers.
Shit. All right, I'm going to try to copy him.
Okay.
How about like an investigation?
Yeah, I'll give you an investigation check, and then followed by a performance check. These are both going to be, it depends on how the investigation check will determine what your performance check needs to be.
Okay. Dirty 20 on the investigation.
All right. It's going to be a DC 6 performance check.
I was like DC 6 sleight of hand check.
No,
maybe?
this is a performance check.
Okay. 3.
Oh God!
Son of a
-1.
Hold on. Eabis, I am rusty at this. It has been a long time since I've made an accord in the old ways.
The old ways. You are funny. It's been longer, I'm sure, than it has been for me. Here, I apologize. You show me.
All right, performance check again.
Okay.
Natural 20. Which is a 19, by the way.
Yeah. So he feels it. He goes, "Oh yes, correct. That's right. I forgot to twist." Okay. Well, so I know where to find you at Wint Manor when I send the child.
Indeed. As a matter of fact, I imagine we will have quite a few slave children with us to choose from. Any should be suitable.
Very good. And he says, he looks around, he says, I don't hear your stone.
Yes, much has changed since last you were in touch with the market. We have very quiet stones now.
Oh, well, perhaps you have an extra then.
Shall we?
That will work with mine.
Take our party down the mountain to avoid any further complications.
Yes.
And
we will
await the people you send on the path.
I will send
Please
them.
try to provision them enough to make at least part of the journey.
I will make sure they are sent with guards. Oh,
very good.
Well,
I'm pleased we had this chance to speak.
As am I. I think this might be a contract that continues on.
Yes, to mutual benefit, I say.
Indeed. And he tries to copy the nifty handshake that you did. He's, I don't have it. I don't have it quite.
Soon. Stag willing, we will have a chance to practice it again.
Yes, the stag. The great stag speaks, does she? Good. Nothing changes, does it?
And I turn and I give him a nod and I turn and I walk out.
Right.
With my and motion to my honor guard to follow me.
Okay.
Dinfa does not open his mouth.
I lean over as we're walking out and I go, "Who's the big idiot now, huh?"
Dinfa just keeps his mouth shut, looks at Eabis, kind of nods, and walks out as fast as he can.
Guys, what the fuck? What the fuck?
I don't know.
Did you hear that?
You're right. No, I'm glad we had that piece of information now. Good job.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Good. What time period is he even from?
What are we going to talk to Zagat about now? Jesus.
Let's just go. Let's go. I want to go home. I want to go home now.
Oh, and when he said that thing about the houses, I was like, what?
What houses? It was so crazy. I wanted to ask him so many questions. And then he said
Azure
cheap as
Foundry. That's got to be the Blue Foundry, right? That's like a connection.
That's where my brain went there.
It's so crazy.
Well, the three of us are walking off just being like,
Yeah, so you guys, you can do whatever you want to do. I will, I can hand wave you back to your camp if you want to have a conversation on your way back to the camp.
Can I get back to the camp in time to save that poor Reem?
I mean, you could come out of your.
No, I can only cast Cure Wounds when I'm. I guess I could pop out of him and pop. No,
you can't do that either.
Can't pop into Splendor.
Yeah.
Can Splendor cast Cure Wounds?
No,
by himself.
No.
I mean, they're a couple of miles away.
Yeah.
Well, and I mean, again, Ideer is the one who wants to protect Reams, and he was like, "We've got to kill this guy. There's no hope."
Yeah, I mean, unless you have something that like can cure a broken spine, you know, that's what would do it. Maybe a lesser restoration. My Ideer has lesser restoration. I'm looking now. That says it cures paralysis, but I'm thinking that's like magical paralysis.
Right? That's something else.
That's like,
no,
the
but
condition.
Paralysis is a condition of having a broken bone in your spine.
Yeah.
Regeneration,
mending.
Regeneration would do it for sure. But that's so far beyond Ideer.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Yeah, well, we'll see.
Yeah, no,
we'll
I
see.
think we just got to get back to camp.
All right,
our prankless camp.
Yeah. So when you get there, you guys finally see what Dinfa was talking about. It's
gross.
It's mostly packed up. By the time you get there, the Carlos is still alive, but he is just wrapped up, and Ideer sees you all and says, "Oh, it's very good. I'm glad you made it here, but we still have to deal with." And he does like his eyes over at Carlos, and he says, "It is not good. It is not good."
Allow me to investigate. Do I have?
Medicine,
I don't even have
check.
Medicine proficiency. Do I?
That's all right. Let me see what you got here. You already rolled one natural 20.
All right, here we go. 8.
Yeah. Yeah, he can't move his toes.
Mm-hmm.
He can't move his the fingers on the hand that's on the shoulder that the tooth sort of barreled through. Can't move that one. He can move his left hand though. So his right hand is done for. Or at least he can't move it.
Mm-hmm. Does he seem stable? Or is his condition deteriorating?
He's definitely alive. I mean, he's definitely healed all the way up. Ideer definitely like restored his hit points.
Okay.
But
have no fear, Carlos. We will get you back to the manor where you may recuperate further.
It very much hurts. but it's like a radiating pain, and I can't localize it. I can't tell where it is.
Well, we can give you something to the pain once we are back at the manor. I don't know that we have those supplies here. You will have to bear it.
Thank you.
Now, does Gregor I forget, when we're controlling him, is he also riding shotgun unlike the other Reams, or is he gone?
So you have not had the experience of him trying to take over.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to pop out.
Okay.
Of Gregor. And sit up in my gnomish body.
Yeah.
Gregor, are you returned and situated in your corpus?
Oh, that was very interesting. Oh my goodness.
Good news, boy. Unqualified success.
That is good. That is very good to hear.
We have restored the water to the valley. The dwarves will be sending laborers to us to help work the land. And we have established firm diplomatic relationships with them to our mutual benefit. And the enrichment of House Wind.
And I did all of that.
All of it.
My goodness.
You were at the forefront every step of the way, taking the boldest action and speaking the sweetest words.
I wish my uncle could see this. He would see that I'm not to be trifled with.
Well, when the fields of wheat are growing tall and the influence of your realm expands, he will know who is to blame.
Oh, I cannot wait. To take his head off with my axe and post it.
Well, now, easy there. There's one thing at a time. One thing at a time.
Yes. All right. So
but
you guys...
yes, I feel free to boast of your exploits in this incredible diplomatic breakthrough.
Awesome. All right. So you guys, the wagon train heads back out, and you see sort of from behind you on the palisade, you see that all of the trail, the elevator that was getting built, all of that has been completely destroyed, wiped out by water. The soil that you are walking in is wet. And you're walking close enough to the river that you can hear it is flowing. Like it is you can't see it, but you can hear it because your path is sort of pseudo parallel to it, 400 or 500 yards away from it. But you can hear it well enough as you're walking. And it's raging, it's a river. And when you arrive back at Wint Manor,
Wait, were we going to grab that giant ballista on our way back, or is that like out of the plans?
Well, you can. Yeah, you're gonna pass right by it. Get it. Get it. Sure. Yeah.
Hitch it up to the wagon.
Right. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. An idea can help you get it on there. Like yeah.
I so completely forgot about that I don't even know what we're talking about.
Remember the ogre had a giant crossbow.
Oh, right.
Which was it's like
right.
ballista sized for us. I'm sure we have to modify the trigger mechanism because it's made for a finger, not for like a top release. But we can figure that out.
Yeah, you can figure it out.
Agreed.
You can figure it out. So I can't remember. Let me. I need to look at something here really fast as you're heading back.
It's amazing that they were able to contain this river at the height in the mountains. Just picture it raging against all those machines.
When did you get your level up?
We leveled up after we beat Karn.
After you beat Karn, right? Okay. So you arrive at the warden's shack, which is where you all slept before leaving Wint Manor. And outside of the warden's shack, there's like a ton of dead kobolds that are out there. And And when Went goes into his home, his mother comes out and she says, "My boy, it was the greatest thing. Your uncle came and saved the manor. He has sent for you to go to the capital. He says it is time. It is time for you to take a place next to him in his court." And Went says, "Mother, I will do it. I am ready." And then she looks to you all. Her face changes. And she says, "I told you to get back to the market. And now you've made me do this to this poor woman. I need you back here now." And as soon as she says now, you see blood fill Went's mother's eyes, and she falls down dead.
Ah, shit.
And Gregor looks down and says, he looks down and he says, What was that? Mother.
I'm as mystified as you. Was she injured in the kobold attack?
I immediately go down to the body and I pull out one of my old healing potions that is empty, but I start like pretending like I'm putting healing potion in her mouth.
Hello? Wait, are you all right? Wake up.
And Idir says, "Did Zagat speak to you?"
I give him a look.
What did she say?
It's time to go back.
How long have you known that?
She was just here.
Time. Who's to say?
And Idir says, "She's going to execute me. I'm positive of it. She knows. She knows I have failed her. She knows I have let some of our assets become lesser."
All right. Calm down.
I put my both hands. I go thinking I'm going to put both hands on his shoulders, but actually I just put both hands on his knees because that's I dare. I cannot stress enough how much this is not about you.
You are.
I mean this in the nicest way possible. You are not important enough to execute.
In fact, you stay here. Guard the Reims. We will go.
I come out of Busk and I wake up in Dinfa. We will go.
Do we even know how to go back to the Goblin Market?
No.
Yeah.
And no, that's why we're supposed to tell Idir.
Yeah, and
So
Idir looks at you and he says, and you see him flick his hand at you, like, "Get the fuck out of here." And you're all in near boiling water in your sauna, in your hot tub, in the Goblin Market. And
guys, I just had the strangest dream.
Oh, God, this feels so good. Oh, thank the elk.
I would have liked a little bit of warning before we appeared in here, but it is yes, it is nice.
Zagat is there in the pool with you, and she goes, "Well, you really fucked the pony on this one, didn't you? Great stag. Be willing. You can fix it."
What do you mean?
We were simply fulfilling the contract, establishing it.
By any means necessary, I might add.
We have been there for days, for only days.
Listen, I did not know there was an original in this plane. But
yeah, that sounds like a you fuck up.
It is a me fuck up, but because you are with me, it's a you fuck up.
Yeah,
you don't understand.
This brain has worked miracles over the past 4 days, okay, Zagat? So you just need to get over yourself, and we're going to figure out what the fuck's going on here.
If they decide that we have not done a good job, I say we, I mean me. It is not like I am the one who will be executed. It will be you. I am too important for their future. Don't you understand that? You're my friends.
Yeah, I think we're using a lot of indeterminate pronouns right now, and you need to be a lot more specific on who they are.
Things are bad here in the market now. Originals are coming back every single day, and they do not like what they have found. We are allied with the present. We are allied with boredom. And the court, what is left of it. But I should have known. The originals are bringing all of their own, all the old beef that they had with each other. It is all still there and very much alive for them.
Even though they are aware that the time has changed, that the years have passed, it's not so simple to just go back to the way things were.
I'm still trying to get over how old beef can still be alive.
Well, it's very easy for you to say. But apparently, and I did not know this, but apparently, we are just what's left over of one of the ancient houses of the Goblin market.
The whole market.
Yes, the whole market.
Which house?
I don't know them. They said something about Jeru. The Jeru Foundry is what they keep calling us.
Are there were other houses before?
I guess. And no one knows where their camp is here in the market. They say they returned, but where are they? They're not here. Nowhere. And yet they can walk in anytime they please. They could walk in here now.
I'm sorry, Zagat. But the moment that things slowed down with all the planes, you all should have known this would happen. And you should have a record of where everyone is.
I'll tell you what I understand. We have the record of all the originals who came from House Jeru.
Yes. Bodum believed he saw the whole puzzle and then realized he was just a piece.
Very much so. We don't have any records of the other houses. We don't even know what they're called.
I've heard another name. Mechanic.
Mechanic? Doesn't sound like a goblin name.
That is what I've heard.
Much can change in the eons.
Yes.
Zagat,
well,
I believe we need to come to an accord of principle in this moment. The originals, they are stuck in the past. We have been speaking with Ebrox. He believes the way things were 1,000 years ago is the way they still are, and will make no adjustments for the way things have changed. I've spoken to him for 10 minutes, and I can already see that. Bodum and the Goblin market are stuck in the present. They cannot see past the current difficulties, the crisis of the originals, the chaos that is sown by the tuning of the spheres.
Yes.
Whoever will come out on top in this will be the ones who can see the future. We need to see the future, Zagat, and we need to make sure we are in it.
Yes. Yes, I was thinking the same exact thing, even in those words, but slightly better.
Good, I am glad we are in agreement. But the past few days have taught me that we can trust no one who is not in this bath at this moment.
I agree.
They are either working against us or blinded by their current perspectives. We need to begin building the future we want, and we need to start now.
The only thing I can tell you, I say the only thing, I will tell you everything I know, but the only thing I know that I think you have to know is that the divisions that we have in this version of the Goblin market, having some people who specialize in this or that, or it seems to have been about preserving power at the very top and not about the Not about the compact that we wrote, that we all live by. It is to keep people from, what is the word? Bridging all the things that are possible in the goblin market. These originals, they were not bound by these divisions. I only just learned from the Merchant Guild how to speak through the plains.
Will you teach us how to speak through children?
I will teach you. But let me tell you this. It's possible to send yourself as a Kyber into any plane where you have a ream. I don't know how to do it, but the originals do.
I will be honest, Zagat, I care nothing for goblin politics. Here is what I do care for. I have signed my name to a contract. That contract has obligations for me, and it has rewards for me. And I will see that it is honored.
Yes, of course.
The contracts are everything. We uphold them, and they will see us into the future. We allow them to fail. We allow people who break contracts to take power. This entire thing will come apart. It is the contracts we must preserve.
I agree, but we are in a fight for survival right now. The contracts come first, but...
No buts.
Survival.
If the contracts are broken, then we have nothing to live for. Then I have nothing to live for.
Charnak, I will see that your contract is honored. But I must be living. The head of the Merchant Guild must be living.
So let us not talk of the past then. And let us not talk of the present. Let us talk of the future and how things will be. And let us make it that way.
I agree. So I think we have to begin breaking all the rules.
What exactly? Any that I didn't write my name on, I don't give a shit about anyway.
Dinfa.
Yes.
I think you're going to have to learn. I think you're going to have to learn how to fight with a shadow blade.
The shadow blade,
like the merchants do. And you, Charnak, I believe you're going to have to make a cord with Adjunct Markeef Deheji. We need the Blue Foundry, and we need...
Or we could kill him, and I could take it over. I'm sure I could run it much better than he could.
I don't think you...
How much can there be to learn? I am the smartest person in this market.
Charnak, I believe we're going to have to get emissaries from all the mercantiles if we're going to resist the originals. I don't think that they know how we've stunted ourselves over the years yet. But
can't we just make Eabis do it? She's better at making friends than any of us.
No, Eabis, I need you to find someone in smithery and carpentry.
Smithery
and in espionage.
And in espionage.
Yes. Dinfa, you will need to make...
two great tastes that go great together.
Dinfa, you will need to make some connections with the mercantile, and you, Charnak, magical oddities will be yours with Adjunct Markeef, and I think the supply mercantile as well. You will have to find a way in there.
I will speak with Markeef, but he must acknowledge his place.
We will not have time for this, Charnak. Contract above all else.
I hate it when other people are right when I am also right.
Zagat, you seem concerned for your own safety. How can we help?
I am.
How can we help you?
There are no friends left here. It is as though everyone is making these fractured small communities, trying to do what I also am trying to do here. Building out their own mini market. It is the right thing to do, but there's no trust for any goblin at this point that is not on your own crew.
We have actually made contact with... We cannot trust anyone else. We've made contact with an original.
It is very frustrating to me that the only way anyone in this group can be right is when they say my own right words back to me.
You said
Who
it.
is this original that you've
I
met?
know I said it.
Ibrox.
Yes, I know. He told me.
Tell me more. What do you know?
I know that you spoke to him.
He told you you are in contact with him.
I'm learning the ways of the old goblin market now. Here, let me show you. And she's like, looks at you. She's like, you don't know magics.
No.
Here, come. Eabis. Let me show you.
I am watching.
And she does a hand movement and she says some words. And then she says, tell me a name. Any name. Who is someone, Eabis, you'd like to see?
You fucked up. You told him any name. And
now I'm looking at my notes.
Pick any 5th level spell in the whole game and it will be yours.
Wait, which of the
magical secret for you?
Which of the two?
No, he said any card, Tim. Pick any card.
No, I know. Skullbreak killed one of Hanky and his brother. Which one was the one that survived?
Vunk.
Mm-hmm.
Vunk.
So she says Vunk, and then she says, no, they're in the market. Someone outside of the market. I should have been more specific.
What was the name of that dude that we had to deal with in the city? In that port, who the 10% guy.
The onion guy?
Yeah, the onion guy.
It is.
I'm looking.
Sorry, Jax.
Jax.
Yes.
Jax, the garlic.
The garlic whore.
Yes, Jax. He was a garlic whore.
Very good.
It's just funny when he says that like that's a real thing.
Yeah.
His name was Jax. He's
in a third-party book.
As though you know what that is, Zagat, of course.
So she says, very well, Jax the garlic whore. And then...
No, garlic whore, not the garlic whore.
And her eyes roll back in her head, and you see that she's playing with these 2 little stones in her hand, and she says, okay. How will I know which is... Oh, okay, he looked like a garlic. Okay. Yes. And then she her eyes go back to normal, and she says, here, Eabis, do what I've done, say the words that I've said, and then say Jax again.
I do.
Okay. So you don't see Jax, but you're sort of looking out from the perspective of someone in the market by the lake.
I'm going to look down at my hands and feet.
Small human hands.
Child's.
Now they're big for you.
Yeah.
But
no, Eabis is a normal size tiefling.
Oh, right. Yeah. So it's small. It's a child.
Right.
You're looking down at the hands and the body of a child.
Oh my God. I'll just run around a bit and feel it.
Yeah, you hear from inside the room, you hear Zagat's voice say, okay, this is the closest child to the Garlicore. Now,
Yes.
you can look around. You can't control him, but you can send him messages. Be persuasive. He won't know why he wants to go where he goes, but he will go there.
I don't want to get this child in trouble. I just wanted to know how this works.
Very well.
Jack says sentries.
Sentries?
Yes, he has guards.
Ah. Very well. Do you see them?
I do. Get closer, child.
And just give me, it's a DC 5 persuasion check, which I think you just automatically pass, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
8.
Yeah. So the child is walking, and you hear sort of reverberating in your brain. What is it, child? I don't know. What are you doing here? Maybe interesting. And then you hear Zagat say, you can speak through him.
Tell Jax the books were delivered.
And then you see the two guards go, whoa, what the fuck? Did you hear that woman's voice come out of this kid? Kid, what's wrong with you?
I just like to play with my voice. Run away, child.
And the child turns and runs. And as soon as you kind of stop the conversation, you're shunted out of the child. Yeah. It only works from the Goblin market for some reason.
Huh. And it requires the stones.
No, you just need something that will anchor you here. These are just things that I use to meditate. Just something you can feel on your hands that reminds you of where your real body is.
Can you use this? You can use this like scrying, but
it's
with an obvious person.
If you are always with a child, here is what I've discovered, because I've done it many times. When you do it with an adult, they die. And it is very hard to take control of an adult. Children, easy. And so, the spell that I taught you, was meant to specifically target the most easy to inhabit person. Occasionally, you might accidentally move into a mentally deficient adult, and unfortunately, they will die afterwards. That is as far as I can control it.
It is good to know.
Now, I think we have to decide if you're going to go back to Went Manor and continue on there, or if we're going to start hunting originals.
How much have you and Sheba discussed?
Sheba? I have not spoken to Sheba at all. She is with you? She is in a raven, yes?
She is. I just assumed that perhaps you would still be in contact.
I have not been able to contact anyone other than you with the child, and then my experimentation is all.
Are you comfortable with us bringing her in as well? She has a lot of knowledge.
If you trust her. I think we will have to keep the trust circle small, but it should be absolute.
I would say we do not trust her and keep her at arm's length, although we may gain some information from her by supplying some. But judiciously, please. Her ends are not ours.
Very well. I will leave that to you. I will.
She was looking at me when she said that, Dinfa.
No, I will leave it to the three of you.
I will do what...
Do all our votes count the same?
Yes, it does.
I will do what the group is most comfortable with. I just know she would be a great source of information.
Yes, no, she should be our next stop.
I do not know how old she is, but she certainly knows more than I did.
And more than she has told us.
And I must say, Eabis is trying to kill her.
Well, then I suppose that she is an ally.
I have only seen her as such. But...
Very well.
Wait. You did not want us to attack Eabis because he was an original. You do not want us to ally ourselves with him.
I just think that they are very hard to pin down, and we do not want to give them any kind of advantage of getting any insight on how deficient we are in the war that is to come against them. I worry that he will have allegiances to things that we do not even understand. For instance, we do not know what house he was in, which foundry he was from. We do not know the other foundries. Were they at war with each other, or was it just ours that, I don't know, attacked theirs? It's impossible to know without trusting them.
In my head, I will... Oh, wait, no, I'm in Eabis. I can't do that. In my head, I will think to my fucking self, y'all.
Zagat, do you know where the other foundries are?
No. They are on this plane somewhere.
No.
That's what they say, but...
I will give you possibly the greatest piece of information we have gleaned so far in our dealings with Eabis.
Sure.
The other markets exist on the astral plane.
What is that?
And if we seek them out, we must seek them there.
And what is this astral plane?
You mean you don't know?
You mean like where the Gith are?
Indeed. Did you not take elemental metaphysics in your intro Goblin instruction?
I just know we are not ever allowed to travel to the astral plane, that there is some problem with us traveling there.
Well, I believe we now know what the problem is.
And what is that?
Other goblins!
Wait. Do you think we're not the real market?
We're all...
And that's where we're going to end episode 20.
Wow.
Of the Goblin Market.
Air quotes, the real market.
Dinfa's head explodes.
Pow!
Oh, man.
Wow.
Straight out of The Boys.
Exactly. Oh, man.
That dude's powerful. That dude's powerful, but so is Eabis. So are all these people. So are you.
I was like, are you talking about Charnak? He's
pretty powerful.
We're all doing pretty good at this point.
Episode 4, level 4. I was like, I'm almost ready to level you up to 5, but not quite.
Yeah.
Not quite.
It did just happen.
Man.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get into it on the bonus.
Yeah.
I know. Me
It's gonna
too.
be awesome.
Me too. Awesome, guys. Well, have a good rest of your weekend, everybody. And thanks for coming by.
Yeah, send some rain my way,
coming.
would y'all? Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Take up smoking, Tim.
Or just stop the wind. Just
build up your tolerance.
tell the wind to fucking quit it.
So sorry, Tim. So shit.
It's
terrible.
right, guys. It's all right.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for coming by, everybody.
Thanks for coming by.